Well, I have to say, this is probably, can you hear me fine back there? This is probably the first time I've ever done a presentation in Caprice, but I'm kind of enjoying it. I want to thank George and RME and the team. George is one of the few professionals out there who has totally been on board with the female market. Now, I built a successful financial practice solely targeting the female audience. Everybody knew I did it. My business was built completely by referrals. It didn't matter who I spoke to, I would share my passion for working with women. 70% of my clients ended up being men. I learned early on, and understand, I was a single mom, 3 little kids. I only had 8 hours a day, 5 days a week to work. I outperformed my peers. And that's what led me to become a national training officer for Smith Barney. I learned then the power that women can bring to your practice. Mark Barabee, former hedge fund manager, Portsmouth, Massachusetts, came to me, wanted to rebuild his retail practice. He used my Savvy Women seminar, launched his practice with women. Today, totally different practice. He's on his way, double, tripling his production. Everything is based on referrals. The women supercharged the growth of his practice. Phil Johnson, an independent advisor in the Midwest, had a highly successful practice. His son was in partnership with him. He decided he was going to go out and work the female market. He used the Savvy Women seminar. We worked it organically, working through his current client base. And every event, he ended up with more and more and more referrals. Paula Chesser, Akron, Ohio, a financial $500,000 producer with R.W. Baird. In the last 2 years, by incorporating a Savvy Women Club program into her practice, she went from 23 million to 55 million and is growing rapidly. This is the power that women bring to your practice. We hear the statistics. They're earning and accumulating more wealth than ever before. They are becoming more engaged in the process and want to be more involved. But guess what? They are not happy. They're not happy. Hannah Shaw Grove states that after losing a spouse, within 1 to 3 years, and I'm hearing that that number is dropping more to 1 to 2 and to 1, they will leave their advisor. And I know this is true because my mother did the same thing. But she didn't wait till my father died. And her financial advisor was a woman. You see, women will not tell you, and I know there are some of you thinking, you know, I have really good relationships with my female clients. Be careful. Because women won't tell you they're not happy till they're gone. That's exactly what my mother did. And her financial advisor was a woman. But when you learn how to really connect with the female client, how to start attracting a female audience, amazing things will happen to your business. More referrals, 3 times more referrals. You hear it over and over. I will tell you right now, the first thing that happens when I coach an advisor and they start to approach their practice focused on the women, the first thing, referrals. Secondly, you will reduce attrition because it's coming. It's coming. And if you do not embrace this model, and it is a new model, it's no longer prospecting, it's about relationship building. It's no longer selling, it's about inspiring people to consider new opportunities. And it's not about closing. Oh, every woman hates that term. It's about motivating people to do what's right for them. That's the new paradigm. That's the new model. That is female friendly, and the men love it too. You will have greater loyalty when a woman loves you as her financial advisor. She's sticking with you through thick and thin. Less issues with performance and fees. In Hannah's research, she talked about when women are happy, they're less concerned with performance and fees because they love you. And they are loyal to you. And they appreciate the value. And you will attract more men. Give me an example. Cold called Mr. Solomon. These are in the days. And my whole practice was built on events. 2 events a month, that was it. Every once in a while, my events I'd take a sabbatical and I'd cold call. Talk to a Mr. Solomon. I get him on the phone, he's the no-load king. And I said, you know, Mr. Solomon, my passion is working with women. And we proceeded to have a conversation. Now he's engaged. Guess why? Because I'm not prospecting him. And first of all, he's a little like, well, why not? And then he's more interested. He referred me 3 women, about 2.5 million, and then became my client as well. That's what happens. So, you will have more fun when you can begin converting your practice to a more female-friendly practice. So, the purpose of today's presentation, I'm going to do 3 things. 1, we're going to talk about Mars and Venus. You've got to grasp the fact that women and men do everything differently. When you can embrace that, that's when the magic starts to occur. We're going to talk about the key components to a female practice, and it's really going to come down to 3 simple questions. And if you can answer these 3 simple questions well and incorporate those answers into your conversations with women, you will have the Midas touch. And lastly, I'm going to teach you how to get started. This isn't something that you're going to go back to the office tomorrow and start connecting with women. No, it doesn't happen that fast. You really have to embrace this. So, what we need to do first is really grasp the differences between men and women. So, I think this little video does it all.
Ross kissed me.
No! Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God!
Unbelievable.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God!
Okay, all right, we want to hear everything. Monica, get the wine and unplug the phone. Okay. Rachel, does this end well or do we need to get tissues?
Oh, it ended very well.
Oh, do not start without me! Do not start without me! Okay, all right. Let's hear about the kiss. Was it like a soft brush against your lips, or was it like a, you know, I gotta have you now kind of thing?
Well, at first it was really intense, you know, and then, oh God, and then we just sort of sunk into it.
Oh, so, okay, was he holding you, or was his hands like on your back? And, you know?
No, actually, first they started out on my waist, and then they slid up, and then they were in my hair.
Oh.
And then I kissed her.
Tongue?
Yeah.
Cool.
Doesn't that say it all? Right? So what did you notice here in this presentation, in this little video? What did you notice the differences between men and women?
More detail.
What did you say?
Emotions.
Emotions, very involved with emotions. What else?
More detail.
More details. Okay, what else?
Communication.
Passion, communication. Are we talking about the women or the men? I'm assuming we're... Wine. Yeah, wine, right? Any reason, get the wine, okay? Women, there are 4 real features, and I do this, I talk about this a lot in the Savvy Women Seminar. The first you have to understand, women are driven by a purpose. You know when you sit down when I used to train at Smith Barney and we'd show this video of this really big producer and he'd sit down across the table from this male advisor, he says, what are your goals? Okay, that is totally man. That is totally warrior. But if you sit down with the husband and wife and say, what are your financial goals? Joan, what is the purpose for your money? Because everything women do, we are driven by a purpose, not necessarily a paycheck. When you can get them to do that in the seminar, we do this little exercise where they close their eyes and they think, you had all the money in the world and never had to worry again. What 3 ways would you spend your money? They love it. They love this because it addresses their purpose. So even the language and the vocabulary we use has to change. Women are multitaskers, okay? How many women here have in the past, left home with the kids at home, left their husbands at home, and 3 days later you come back and you think, oh my God, what happened here? Right? It's not that it's better or worse. This is not about better or worse, right or wrong. Different. Women are multitasking. They need a process for everything. If you don't have a really great process that will help them, you're going to struggle with them. They're totally relationship-based. If they don't like you, they're not doing business with you. And in fact, if they don't like you, they're not going to let their husbands do business with you. So you really need to grasp this. And community. Women thrive in a community setting. Right? If I come to a table and it's all women and they say, where'd you get that necklace, Adri? I said, oh, I found this fabulous website. They're all over it. And then they leave here and they go to their other groups and they share that information. That could be you that they're sharing. If you do this right. Okay, so how do we take this and really infuse it into our practice? Well, women really care about these 3 questions, right? Easy. Why do you care about me? How will you make my life better? And why should I do business with you? Who can answer one of those well? Because really, this is it. This is it. You do this well, you answer these well, and you're good. Who can answer it? Come on, I need a volunteer. Who's a financial advisor here? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Come on now. Okay, why should I do business with you? What's your first name?
Mauricio.
Mauricio. Why? Why should I do business with you, Mauricio? What would your answer be? What would you normally say?
Well, it's more than just one sentence. It's not the product, definitely,
It's not the product.
but it would be the fact that I'm committed to the industry and I would probably be here for a long time.
I'm committed to the industry and I'll be here for a long time. Okay? What other answers would you give? Yes? I'll make your dreams come true in your dreams. Close? What else? Yes?
The planning I would do for you is the planning I would do for my family, for my mother and my father.
Okay, close, better, yes. Nobody's going to care about you more than I do. Okay, I forgot to tell you one thing. You cannot talk about your experience. You cannot talk about your certifications in any of these questions. You cannot talk about the tools and resources of your firm. You cannot say things like, I will work hard for you. I will be here a long time. I care about you. I'm honest. I'm ethical. You can't say those things. Now, how do you answer this? Because they don't ask this. Women will not ask this. But this is what they want to know. And you need to infuse this. When a woman meets you and she finds out you're a financial advisor and you're approaching her and talking to her, what is her assumption? What do you horrible things? What do you think she's thinking that you care about?
Money.
You got it. And saying, I care about you isn't going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. So, the first, what women want. Why do you care about me? This you have to infuse in a conversation immediately. It's your story. It's your story. That's it. When I spoke to Mr. Solomon on the phone, I said, you know, Mr. Solomon, my passion is working with women. Let me tell you why. When I was growing up, my dad was great at finances, but he was always bugging my mom to get involved, get involved. But then when she did get involved, just because she couldn't understand PE ratio and yield, he made her feel stupid. And here she was, a graduate of the University of Southern California. And he made her feel stupid. And you know what's the worst part? She believed him. And so I made a commitment that I was going to spend my career getting women more engaged and comfortable making financial decisions. That's it. I tell that story to women. They are totally mine. Right then, right there. You need a story that tells them why you care about women. And let me tell you, you take 1 year. You take 1 year, starting February 1st, and you commit to marketing to women, it will transform your practice. It will transform your practice. But you better have a story. Your story. And you can't fake it. You fake it, they will see right through you. And then you're dead. Because just as they will spread the good word about you, they will spread the bad word about you. So you truly have to be sincere. Answer this, infuse this in your conversations, talk about what you're doing this year. You know, I'm having this new focus, I'm really excited, we're focusing on the women's market, we want them to become more engaged. Second question, how will you make my life better? You need to have a process that helps women become more organized. They need to know what they can expect from you. You know the process, uncover your objectives, build the plan, implement the plan, review and monitor? Nah, doesn't cut it. That works for the man, doesn't work for the woman. She has no idea what's happening. She signs on that dotted line. She says, yes, transfer. She has no idea what's happening with her money. And it scares the hell out of her. You need to manage expectations, set up expectations, step by step. And most of my advisors incorporate my thematic wealth process. They know that 4 times a year, they will be calling their female clients and male clients, engaging in purposeful and meaningful conversations. So by the end of the year, the client doesn't have to worry. Women love this. So you have to look at your practice and you say, what am I doing that's going to make her life easier? Let me give you an example. For years, I used to give a binder to my clients when I was in production. And I went to Staples, I got a little white binder. Well, you know, how many of you give black binders out? Anybody give binders out to clients anymore? Organizational binders? Okay, powerful. But it's the women that like to really be organized most of the time. Well, what if you gave her a red patent leather binder? What would that say to a couple? Huh? She'd go, oh, this is so nice. And then the tabs are tabs that work for her. She is all over it. When I did the presentation down at RME, I had the girls down there. They were fabulous. They set up the room, white tablecloths, pink overlay. I had a pink journal for every advisor, man or woman, flowers. The men walked in the room and went. The women, every woman that walked in went, oh, this is so nice. Everything you do in this industry, you have to remember, it was built by men to help male advisors attract the male client. Great. But what we now need to do is take the experience and the wisdom from men and apply it to the strengths and the talents of women to create a new paradigm that works for everybody. How about giving the woman a journal and saying, Joan, I'd like you to keep this journal. And every time you have a question about finances, whether it's about should I buy a car or lease a car, I want you to write it in this journal. They love it. They take the journal. I did a presentation, a workshop, breaking the mold for women only. They all took their journal and they call me and they say, oh, I have 3 more journals. They kept the process going. That works for women. Simple little things. Show them you care about them, that it's not just about their husbands. And the last one, why should I do business with you? True story, Pamela Pickens, financial advisor in Southern California. Her dad is T. Boone Pickens. And she and her partners live in Arizona, and they're the brainiacs of the group. She's the relationship manager. And a friend of her dad's was selling a $25 million business, and they got an opportunity to get in front of them, and it was the husband, the wife, and the daughter. True story, no fabrication. And Pam wasn't working with me at the moment. And at the end of the presentation, they did an awesome presentation. It was crisp, it was clean. And at the last minute, the man said, okay, so I get what you're doing. Why should I pick you as our financial advisor? And all the guys could say was their credentials and years of experience and the tools and resources and the safety of the firm. And Pam knew they lost him. They lost him. And she said, Adri, they were friends of mine. We lost them. And so she came back, called me up and said, okay, I get it. Let's do it. And she transformed her practice. In fact, she's going to be my guest for dinner at my Keys to the Ladies' Room workshop in Southern California. That happens. You need to be able to answer this question by saying, let me tell you why I'm the best financial advisor for you. Because I get you. And I created a value statement. And it has nothing to do with finances. It has nothing to do with your credentials. And most of my advisors will take their value statement and they'll put it on their bio page. There's a woman, Marilyn, finally took her intro script that we write and put her value statement on her website. Immediately got a woman called in and said, I was perusing all the websites and I loved your message. Because it talked about how I understand you. I don't care whether you're targeting women or whether you're targeting business owners. Your value statement has to be about, I get you. I ran a business, or my dad ran a business, and I saw the challenges, and you're balancing this, and you're dealing with this. Oh my God, it can be overwhelming. But as a professional, successful professional, I've learned so many things about just being organized and knowing where you're going and having a plan in place. It just makes life easier. So my true value is about helping you take it one step at a time, helping you become more confident, become more comfortable making smart financial decisions, and freeing you up to do what you love to do best. That's my value. You answer these 3 questions, you will reap the unbelievable benefits of the female market. And I know this is going to push you out of your comfort zone. This industry is so stuck in the traditional methods. It is so stuck. And when you break free, it's amazing how the business will come to you. You need to create your unique, compelling, authentic message that has nothing to do with your tools. You need to develop a process that really makes a difference, not the traditional process, but how are you going to make my life easier, more organized, more effective, more efficient. And you need to incorporate women's events. You can use RME, brand yourself in the community. I can't tell you how many people have used my Savvy Women Seminar with RME. They have special invites. And then hold small, intimate events. Pam Pickens, she holds catered events in her home. That works. Create all kinds of events. There are lots of ways you can get involved. If this is something you want to do, you see the value, and you are willing to commit and transform your practice, there are lots of venues. There are lots of ways to do it. We got a 6-week teleclass that starts Tuesday. A live event in California. We've got the Savvy Women Seminar and Coaching. Tap into a gold mine of opportunities. So we'd like to also offer you a free gift. My seminar book that's been out there for financial advisors. It's in ebook form. Just fill this out. My assistant Adia is right there. And if you want to just give her your business card, we'll get this emailed to you right away. Thank you, and I wish you all the best of luck. I'll be on the cruise. Feel free to stop, talk to us. We'll help you build your female-friendly practice. Thank you.